One of my followers has just set me a challenge of completing the lineup, but with a slight twist on it, which I've never tried before, but I'm excited to give it a go. What he's asked me to do is pot all the balls in any pocket, in any order, but once you pot one, you then need to pot the black ball. If you pot the black ball, it then gets replaced and you take your next shot. So you need to pot 14 balls and 14 blacks. Now, I've given this a little bit of thought. I've got a strategy on how I'm going to take it. Obviously, these balls down here are going to be a little bit tricky because I need to pot them and get down for the black. Then I need to pot the black and get back up for them. So I think what I'll do is I'll take this one first of all. It's quite a tricky one. The other problem ball is a little bit of a funny one. It's this one here. I'm going to try and get rid of this one quite quickly because if I finish low on the black, say that's a black, if I finish low on it, I'm going to cannon that ball, you know, when I'm travelling down the table. So I'm going to get rid of that one quite quickly. It's a bit different with that one. You know, if I finish here, I'm never going to cannon that ball. So that ball's fine. But this one here is one that I want to get rid of quite quickly. The other thing to note is that there's probably obvious pockets for all of these. The ones below the black, you'll be taking in those corners. These ones up here, you'll be taking in these corners. These ones here might go in the middle. These ones here, it's important to leave enough space in them that you can pot them into those corners. You probably want to take them there rather than the middle because then you're moving your cue ball about more. And one last thing, you're not allowed any cannons on this one. So let's give it a go and see how I get on. First attempt, and I absolutely butcher my first shot and snooker myself in the black. Second attempt is a little bit better. I hit the first shot better, get in the black, and I pot this one as well. I pot a few more after this and then leave myself this black, and just as I'm about to hit it, my phone goes off. Third attempt, and I'm starting to find my rhythm. You can see I'm hitting that first shot a lot better. Simple black after it, few more balls, and then I miss this middle distance one. I really should have got that, and I'm annoyed that I missed it. Fourth go, and I do much better on this one. I've put a graphic on screen so you can see where I'm hitting the cue ball on every shot. That first one, I use a little bit of side just to keep the cue ball away from the cushion. A little bit of side on this black ball just keeps the cue ball away from the bottom cushion. Something else that I thought would be a good idea when I was playing this would be to leave a couple of balls below the black. This means if I finish pretty straight on it, I should always have an option of position on the next ball. And you can see on that shot, despite having some easier pots into the middle, I took one of the ones that was further down the table. I'm thinking ahead here. I don't want to leave myself with all the balls down one end of the table as my final shots. I like this shot in the black here. I run it through further than I normally would if I was playing a game. I'm trying to get the cue ball down that other end of the table to start trying to pot some of the more tricky ones. Bottom right on the cue ball here means it swings back towards the black after contacting the cushion. Again, I could take an easy one in the middle here, but I take one of the more difficult balls just to get it off the table. Top right hand side, make sure it swings away from the cushion and leaves me an angle on the next black ball. You can see quite a lot of the time when I'm taking these balls that are further down the table, I'm leaving my cue ball in about the middle of the table, and then when I'm potting them, it's about the same position for the black. This is quite a good position to pot this from and get position on the next ball. You want to leave yourself an angle so that you can get the cue ball travelling and not have to hit it too hard. This shot here is the worst that I hit in the whole exercise. I want to get down for my last awkward ball, but just as I'm about to hit it, I worry about leaving the cue ball on the cushion, and that's exactly what I do. I leave myself a really difficult pot here, and it's probably one that you miss as much as you pot it, but luckily on this occasion, I managed to get it in. Now what I'm thinking here is, I've got a good angle in the black, and I've got one ball that's a lot more difficult than other, so I'm going to take this chance here to try and get on it. I know that if I underhit it, I would have the one in the middle of the table, so that's why I played for it there. You don't want to leave it to last and underhit your last positional shot and be in no man's land with no shot on it, so that's why I played it there. And it means that this last positional shot here to the one in the middle, I could probably take it in about 4 different pockets. I'll leave myself straight shot in the middle and then straight shot in the black to finish up. Give this one a go, thanks for watching, and let me know how you get on.